What's up guys, I'm BTC. With the recent patch changes, there was lots of buffs and nerfs, but it seems like there might actually be some secret buffs included with it. In the recent patch, there was some changes to armor, damage over time, and knockback effects. And I was testing out a bunch of this in a custom game, and I discovered a few things that appear to be secret buffs. It's possible that some of it might be bugs, but I went and I checked on the official listing that they have on the Overwatch forums, and none of the things that I found were in that official listing. But it's already been updated because there's stuff about Baptiste in there, showing some of the bugs that that character has, so maybe they just haven't updated it, or they don't consider it to be bugs. But in either case, they're in the game, and they definitely make the character stronger. So the first one is the armor change with damage over time. Ana, Ashe, Hanzo, Mei, Moira, Widowmaker, and Zarya all have damage over time effects that now ignore armor. For Hanzo, Mei, and Zarya, it's their ultimates, so it's not really a big deal. Chances are if you're trapped in a Dragon Strike, a Blizzard, or a Grav, you're just gonna get destroyed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. For Ana, it's her primary attack, which is good because you can use it a lot, but if you're attacking the enemy tanks trying to take away their armor, then you're not gonna be healing your teammates, so that's probably not a good thing. And for Widowmaker, the Venom Mine, yeah, you can use it offensively, but that means you don't get to use it defensively, and it also doesn't do a lot of damage, so it's kind of meh. The two characters that it works amazing with is Ashe with Dynamite and Moira with the Biotic Orb. Now, at the start of fights, if the enemy tank has armor, you almost always want to use the damaging Biotic Orb because it will strip away all of that armor at no extra cost, right? Like, there's no mitigation by it, so your damaging Biotic Orb will take away the armor, and then all of the other attacks can then work on all of the white health that Reinhardt has, or Hammond, or Winston, or whoever it is that you're taking that armor away from. I probably don't want to use it on D.Va because she'll just destroy it with the defense matrix, but any other character that has armor, you now almost always want to open with that damaging Biotic Orb, and it will just take away right away that armor. And the same thing for Ashe's Dynamite. The only difference is the initial impact blast of Ashe's Dynamite still gets reduced by armor, but it's only 3, and the rest of it all takes away like normal with no damage mitigation whatsoever. So these two things are incredibly powerful now to use at the start of a fight. But the thing that I discovered while I was testing this was that Moira's damaging Biotic Orb now does extra damage at the very end right before it disappears. Anyone that happens to be in the area basically takes an extra tick of damage. Now, it might be anywhere between 2 and 6 extra damage. It's not a whole lot, but if there's several people in a grouped up area, then they all take that extra, 5 damage. That's an extra 25 damage potentially to everybody in the area. So that's pretty good. Again, I haven't seen this on the bug forum or the list or anything like that, so I don't know if this is supposed to be, but it's definitely doing more than the 200 damage it's supposed to be doing. And I don't know exactly why. Maybe it just thinks that even when it disappears, it still has an extra tick for an extra second or so, or whatever happens, but it's still continuing to do damage even after the orb is technically gone. It's not game-breaking to be sure, but its effectiveness versus armor is now amazing, and it's doing more damage than it's supposed to be. The other thing is Doomfist can now knock back D.Va's mech, which is really, really cool. Now, I don't know if this is a bug with the knockback changes that they made, because they made a bunch of changes to make knockback distance more consistent, and flying characters can now be knocked back and slowed as well. And it seems like this might be basically a byproduct of that. Whenever D.Va throws out her mech and activates ultimate, a bunch of heroes on the enemy team can interact with it in unique ways. Reinhardt can charge into it and push it away from his team, Roadhog can hook it and move it away, Brigitte can shield bash it and stop it from moving forward, McCree can also stun it and stop it from moving, and there's a couple of characters that you might think could interact with it, but they can't. So Lucio can't boop it, Pharah can't boop it, EMP does nothing, and Brigitte's whip shot also does nothing. If Doomfist tries to uppercut it, it doesn't do anything, it just kind of slows it for like half a second, and then it just keeps going forward. But there is a new interaction with Doomfist's Rocket Punch, which is really cool, because now when D.Va throws the mech, you can punch the mech, and it will go flying in the opposite direction. Now, I don't know if this was intentional or accidental, but I think this is a really cool function, a really cool interaction that they definitely should keep, because now it actually gives Doomfist a way to interact with the mech in kind of a defensive way for his team. And it's not like D.Va's a really bad character that's going to be hurt by having another counter. D.Va is one of the best in the game. It's not going to completely change. Even after the nerfs, D.Va's still incredibly strong. So I think adding stuff like this is really cool, and it's an interesting way to add new kinds of counters to the game. Something else I want to point out is I've been seeing a lot of Doomfist players using his combo wrong, and this is probably because they haven't played the character before and they're just trying it out now because he got some buffs. It's usually what happens. Character gets buffs, you have all these new people trying to play it out. Anyways, with Doomfist, you almost never ever want to initiate by doing the uppercut into the seismic slam. That's just bad. If you're trying to move around the map, it's fine. If you're trying to chase down an enemy who's running away, that's fine. But if you're initiating on a full health target, you almost never ever want to do that. What you want to do is you want to start with the seismic slam, then attack, then uppercut, then attack a couple more times. So this is what it looks like in slow motion. So you're going to seismic slam, attack, uppercut, attack a couple more times. And then fast, this is what it looks like. And you're going to do way, way more damage than if you try to do this. So let me show you here. For a 200 hit point health target, you're going to destroy them if you do that. So remember, seismic slam, attack, uppercut, attack a couple more times. Make sure there isn't a light post above you, and you'll do way, way, way more damage. Also, I've been seeing people trying to do this. Don't do that. That's generally not a good idea either. Unless you're trying to get away. Like, if you mess up your uppercut and you need to just escape, that's fine. But if you're trying to attack someone, don't do that. So, you can initiate with a rocket punch and then do this to get out. That's fine. You can do this and then get out like that. But don't try to combo like that. That's just bad. And don't do that either. So don't worry if you see Moira using damage orb versus enemy tanks, because it's really strong now. And also, if you're a Doomfist and the enemy diva throws the ultimate, you can now be a hero and save your team. Just make sure that you hit the ult in the right direction, because if you knock that mech towards your team, then that's going to be a bad time. So there you go, guys. Again, I don't know if these are intentional or accidental. They're not in the bug list, but I guess we'll find out. So what do you think? Intentional or bugs? And even if they are bugs, would you like to have them keep them in the game? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.